What's up guys, it's Bryce. Today we're going to be making an applesauce that's perfect for fall and Halloween, and you could eat it with pretty much anything. So we're going to show you the ingredients for it. So first we have a saucepan, we have a peeler, we have a knife and a cutting board, we have 3 apples, a pear. We're using Honeycrisp apples, by the way. I don't know what type of pear. We have a spatula. We have some maple syrup. We have some apple cider. It's Ryan's brand, Honeycrisp. We have some brown sugar, some lemon juice, some honey, some cinnamon, some cardamom, which is a spice that you can find in a lot of different baking things, and it's really good. We like it a lot. We have an immersion blender, and we have, that should be it. And the first step is, you always have to wash your fruit. So we're gonna go do that right now. What's up guys, we're back. So we just washed all the fruit. It's all clean and pretty wet. We have a bowl here, and we're gonna start scraping them down, making sure there's no skin on them, because that won't cook as well when we put them in the pan. So I'm just using a bowl as if it was like a trash can, so that way the scraps don't go everywhere and you don't slip or get the floor all dirty. So yeah, see you guys when we're done. So guys, we just finished peeling all of them. They're all peeled. So now we're gonna start cutting them. And when you wanna cut them, you're gonna want them to be pretty small. And by the way, the smaller, the faster it's gonna cook. So if you cut them bigger, they're gonna take longer. If you cut them smaller, they're gonna take shorter time. So I'm gonna do one, and then you guys could do the rest. So we just wanna cut pretty much around the core. So there we go, cut one piece. So now you wanna do the other side. It's a little bit wonky, so you can just take that part off. You can eat that part if you mess it up a little bit. And then you'll cut the sides off. Alright, and then you have pretty much your entire core. You can always trim it if you want to. I might trim this little side here. And then the size that you want to cut them to, and one recommendation that I have is if you are cutting them like this, you want to make sure that they flip over. So I wouldn't cut them this way, I cut them like that so it's stable on the cutting board. And when you want to cut them, you just want to do little strips like this. And this is about the size that I go for. So you want to do about this big on each side. And then you want to flip it this way, and then you can cut them in little chunks here down the side. And you can always cut them smaller. Like I said, they just cook faster, so you might have to adjust the cooking time a little bit. Alright, so this is pretty good to me. I might cut them a little bit more, like in half, a little bit. And then you're basically, after you cut all of them this way, you're pretty much done, and then you can go to the next step. So yeah, see you guys. Just finished cutting up all of the fruit, and we have it in our pan. And before we turn on the stove, we're gonna put our brown sugar in. So what you're probably gonna wanna do is you're gonna have a tablespoon, a teaspoon, and yeah, that should be it. And then a spatula. I don't know if I showed that in the beginning or not, but you need a spatula. So we're gonna put our 1 tablespoon of brown sugar in. So we have 1 tablespoon here. We're gonna put that in. I'm gonna add a little bit more, and you can always do this to your liking depending on how sweet or savory you want it. It kind of depends on you, so you can change it. And remember, when you're doing the brown sugar, do it before you put in your liquids, because then it won't mix together right, and it'll just be all weird. So make sure you do that. Alright guys, so we just put our brown sugar in, and now we're gonna add our cardamom and our cinnamon. So we have a teaspoon here, And be aware that the cardamom is very strong, so don't use a lot of it. So we're just gonna put some in our teaspoon, just a little bit, about a half, because it will, when it cooks, it'll cut down the flavor a tiny bit, but it's still quite strong. So we're only gonna do about that much. So we're just gonna put that in there. And then we have the cardamom's in, so now we need to do a full teaspoon of our cinnamon here. So we're just gonna scoop teaspoon. We're gonna dump that in here. And now we're gonna move this out of the way. So now we're gonna do our lemon juice, and we wanna do a full tablespoon. And you might be thinking, why? It's because it's an acid and we don't want our fruit to go all brown and look bad. So we're gonna add a full tablespoon of this, which is quite a lot, but it'll make sense in the final form. So we have a full tablespoon here, and we're just gonna add that in. So now that we have that in, that's our acid, which will help a lot, and it'll add some flavor. We're gonna get our honey, and we're gonna do a little bit, probably a full tablespoon. Making sure it doesn't go all over the kitchen, because it's quite sticky. So we have a full tablespoon. Now we're gonna add that in. This might take a moment. We're gonna keep using this because if we add a lighter liquid to it, it might mix and then come out, and that's what we want because it's kind of stuck. So next we're gonna add our cider. Now we have a lot of cider. You don't need to buy this much because this is quite a bit. So we're probably gonna spill here, so I might not use the tablespoon because it will go everywhere. But, so we're just gonna add about another tablespoon in. So we're just gonna pour in a little bit there, maybe a little bit more. So that's good. I put in about 1.5 probably. And so now that that's done, we can move some of our stuff out the way. And last we got some maple syrup. So we have pretty good maple syrup. It's pretty fresh and it's in a pretty cool container too. So we're gonna put in about a tablespoon, just like that. And this will give us a lot of flavor. It'll give us some sweetness, a little bit of mapleness. It's maple syrup. It's very good. So we're gonna carefully pick this up. We're gonna put that in there. And so that's all of our liquids. All right, so we have our pan here with all of our stuff, and we're gonna mix it a little bit. And we've turned our pan about to a little bit below, about in the middle, so a little bit above medium, tiny bit, pretty much on medium. And then we're just gonna mix all of our stuff together. And it doesn't look very watery right now, but as you see, if you move some of this out the way, we have all of our mix and our juice all in the corner there. So we're just gonna keep mixing this. And you're gonna let this reduce quite a bit because we need to cook these apples and pear quite a bit to a pretty high temperature. So yeah, we're just gonna cook these down until we have quite a bit of juice, and they're gonna reduce in size a little bit, and they also are probably gonna change color depending on how big or small you make them. So yeah. Alright guys, so we've been letting this cook for about 10 minutes, and it'll start to look like this, and it'll start to bubble, and that means it's cooking. So it'll also, the apples will start to get a little bit of color on them, and that's what you want. This isn't done yet. You want to get a knife, and if they're really soft, and these aren't yet, see, they're pushing down, and then I'm not really being able to stab them. So they probably needed about another 10 minutes. So yeah, we're almost there, and we'll see you guys when we're done. Alright, so guys, we're about 15 minutes in. It's reduced quite a bit. We have a lot more juice than apples here. And we're still on the same temperature, still going. And I have to tell you guys about the smell. It smells so good. It's like fall, like appley, it's cinnamony, it's cardamom-y. It's all the good things that we put in here that have made this amazing thing. This is perfect on literally anything. You can put it on meat, you can put it on a biscuit, you can put it on French toast, you can put it on waffles, pretty much anything that you want. So yeah, we'll see you guys when it's done. It's looking amazing so far, so yeah. Alright guys, so we've been letting this cook for about 20 to 25 minutes, and it's pretty much done here, and we know because we can take our knife, we can stab it, and it pretty much goes straight through. So we are going to turn this off, and yeah, so the next step would be to mix it with our immersion blender, but we have to let it cool for about 20 minutes until it's pretty much fully cooled, because if we stirred it now, if we mixed it now, it might splatter on us, and that would hurt a lot. So yeah, we're gonna wait 20 minutes and see what the next step. Alright guys, so we're all cooled down now. So we're gonna take some out, and this is optional because you don't have to do this if you want it all smooth or you want some chunks. So I'm gonna take some out. And the reason why I'm putting them in a strainer is because we have a bowl underneath that'll get all the juice. And we wanna put all the juice once we're done back in, so that way it blends better, because the more juice, it'll blend better and it'll be smoother. So yeah, we want that. Alright, so I've gotten most of the juice out here, so I'm gonna put my little spoon down. I'm gonna lift this out, and we only got a little bit, that's okay. So we might not be able to add very much here, but I'm just gonna add all that I can into here. Let go in a little bit. So yeah, there's a little bit more left, but we're not gonna get anything else, I don't think. So we're gonna put this back over here. And now we're gonna blend it. So we're using the emulsion blender, as I said before. And yeah, we're just gonna stick it in here. And make sure that it's like deep down, because if you're hanging it like at the top of them, it's not really gonna do anything. So I'm gonna kind of make a pile of them, essentially. And then I'm gonna stick it down in the middle, and we're just gonna go. I'm blending here, so we're just gonna try to get all this out. We're gonna set it down here, just like this. And then we're gonna add our chunks back in. So they're kind of stuck, so we're gonna have to hit it a little bit. And yeah, so we're basically done here. Now you can add anything else. We're just gonna mix it up. And yeah, we're pretty much done. Now you can keep this in the fridge for about 3 to 4 days, and then you will kind of want to throw it away. Or you can freeze it in the freezer. So yeah, like and subscribe. See you guys in the next video.